Dear Enda, I wrote to you a while back but you never did reply. I know you're really busy, so don't worry man, it's fine. I'm sure it can't be easy being Taoiseach of us plebs, but at least the Europeans are still ruffling your head. And it's good to know you're busy, but I'm pretty busy too. So you have a little boy now and he doesn't have a clue that his future on this island is in jeopardy because you have chosen to deny what's self-evidently true, in favour of an empire entirely designed to conspire to constrict us so that we're intertwined to a point where if we need to fart we have to sign the forms and then send them back to Brussels as methane gas reforms. So please don't tell her Merkel. But I farted twice this morning. I didn't really mean to, but I started without warning, but I'd hoped that she'd forgive me as I'm fairly sure the reason was the German supermarkets now have broccoli in season. And I know I'm being facetious, but it's not too far removed from the specious declarations that are easily disproved with the basic understanding of a union as a whole where a concept of demanding creates a construct of control. But power is a liquor some people just can't hold. It devours and embitters the peace within their soul, and while I'm open to correction if there's something that I missed on the basis of reflection, I think Herr Merkel's pissed. Because she's drained the bottle dry, and she's still looking for more, and she's saying she's going to try to build the Europe we adore where the Germans hold the cash while the rest of us must pay. But if Merkel had a moustache, well, you know the old cliché. And I've been told I'm anti-Europe, but I don't think that I am. Sure, wasn't she your one who ran away and married Uncle Sam? They were living out in Malta, near your man who can't be mentioned, in a mansion built by NATO's taste for military intervention. And I know the basic premise is that war is beneficial, the bombs equate to business and the peace is superficial, but I've always had this notion of a world where I've envisioned that invading other countries is an act of terrorism, and that those who call the orders should stand trial out in The Hague for the disrespect of borders, but it seems the rules are vague. The Western world dictate the terms of what they deem a crime, yet they always seem to summarise that what they do is fine. And you probably think such notions are idealist and naive. And in truth, you're probably right, but I'd like to still believe in a world where international law is made to be upheld as a rational code of ethics, but that myth has been dispelled in the way that wars are waged on the premise of a lie, while they label us enraged for a failure to comply. But I'm not some left-wing truant who's just anti-everything, nor some neoliberal fascist who's entirely right-wing. I'm just a normal human being who still cares about this place, and I've been called anti-statist, but it's simply not the case, because this isn't left or right. It's just straight up right and wrong. And while you fight within your feathers to pretend that you're still strong, I've just always found it better to use both my lungs to breathe, both my legs to walk, and both my eyes to see. And the truth of what I'm seeing is that this country's on its knees, and rather than the cure, you're still pushing the disease. And when you're questioned on these matters, you revert to fluency in a language left in tatters by the course of history. Ach níl mór an Gaelcágan, is tá brónarm faoi sin. Ach tá is agam céir de hála dahad bhliain ó chin, nuair a bhuaigh tú de siacán mar a fórda ar bás is ní rah seans a géine bhí an aileas sa rás mar is tosa, Vicín Henry, Peladora trocha sé. A bhuaigh sam le bhuaigh ó is mar sin cosúla dé ach ba cumalam faoi sin, an bhfuil is agad le de hell. Céim fágar á tú fós a fost an príomhaide sa scoil nuair a bhí tú in all éire an thar céad mhíle ó bhuaigh le na trocha is a séamhlín nó mas féidir leat ní smó. But to be honest with you, Enda, I still think that it's harsh to hear so many people who show up to every march declare you the worst Taoiseach that this country's ever had. It's as if they can't remember that the rest were just as bad. But the problem isn't you. It isn't even Burton. It's a system that's designed and confined to keep us hurting, while the masters of resources dot the I's and cross the T's in their psychopathic contracts like this TTIP. And I'm sure there's gotta be days and nights when you must come to ask how the hell you came to land with such a massive task. For a teacher by profession who rose up the ranks and stuck to a Taoiseach in recession while the country's rightly up the creek and down the pan and round an odd twist, while the people at the bottom simply struggle to exist. And as much as I would like to think that you are well intentioned, I still saw you in New York with your man who can't be mentioned, the way I saw you with Lagarde and every two-bit thief, acting the blackguard as if it's light relief to pretend that you're important to those who hold the strings. Well, you know you're just a jester in the courtyard of the king. But the truth is, as I see it, that this island is abundant. I could call you a gobshite, but I think that it's redundant to just label people names for the sake of angry words, while the path remains the same for the masses of the hurt. I just rather, as an island, if we sat down for a chat, to discuss some basic issues and the crux of where we're at. Because as far as I can see it, unless we hit reverse, the road to where we're heading isn't better now, it's worse. But I still believe in Ireland, though some may find that strange. I believe that as a people we've reserved the right to change. I believe that underneath this web of core deceit, there's a movement of the masses who've begun to find their feet. And you and I both know that the masses on the move still possess the power to redress and to remove those who would oppress them from their plinth within the Dáil, whether Fine Gael or Labour, Sinn Féin or Fianna Fáil. And I believe that we've been lied to, abandoned and abused, and denied the basic tenets of our sovereign right to choose by the leaders of the Union who just see us as the toy, at the mercy of their making and the whim of their employ. But look, I farted, so I'll finish, 'cause the post is gonna go. Torch Ara, the Norgera, is Ganairlin, Gajo.